Yeah, it could be. I don't know if they're related or not.
I'll have to
but
check that out.
Yeah,
but anyway, it's so fun. You're right. When they get to play at an early age, sometimes you wonder, will the expectations be too much? Are they just maturing faster than other kids? But some kids really live up to it. And I don't know. Everybody's got a different path and an arc, and they're all fun to watch.
If the intro's playing, I can't hear that.
Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Here's Kolda for three. Wide open. Got it. Kolda's first basket, a big one. Here's a quick pass right side. Rainford. Rainford running for the pylon. Collision at the goal line, and he's in.
Touchdown.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
High school football on the air Friday night. The Miller, Highmore, Harrold Rustlers host the Mobridge Tigers in Miller. Pre-game at 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock. Friday night on Dakota Sports, KOKK.
All right, I think we are on here live from Miller. Matt Watson live tonight on Dakota Sports on 1210 KOKK. And, of course, live on the interwebs here. Our area sponsors, 6B Seed and Supply of Alpena, Ken Clark Insurance here on Regional Medical Center, Slumberland Insurance, Fringe Manufacturing in Wessington, Olympic Motors, Dairy Queen in Huron, Car Chiropractic in Huron, Brian Davison State Farm Insurance, Dakota Land Feeds, Real Estate Connection, Graph Electric, South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Did I say Slumberland Insurance? I probably meant Slumberland Furniture. They put it on the list wrong. I'm writing it right here live on the radio. Also today, South Dakota Attorney General's Office, as I mentioned, the Division of Consumer Protection, Gary's All Auto Glass, our post-game sponsor, the Mirror Family Hair Care, will bring us in-game scoreboard updates. Our Miller sponsors are Coleman Biersbach and Anderson CPA, American Family Insurance in Miller and Huron, and Miller Pump and Pack. And the Miller Rustlers, Highmore Harrold Miller Rustlers here tonight. 0-1 on the season. New coach to talk about. We'll talk to him here in the pregame show. We'll also have a word with Donovan Flaherty, head coach of the visiting Mobridge Pollock Tigers. Tigers have an extra game on the schedule here thus far as the Miller Highmore Harrold team got their bye week in that week 0, that open week there. So they won 0-1 here after a season opening loss last week. 1-1 for the Mobridge Pollock Tigers. We'll talk to Coach Flaherty about that here after a short timeout. You're listening to the pregame show live from Miller. We'll talk to both Coach Flaherty and Coach Barneau, new head coach in Miller. We'll talk to Flaherty first after the timeout on 1210 KOKK.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dairy Queen's ice cream, of course. Get your favorite cool treats at Dairy Queen of Huron. Get a chocolate-dipped cone, a dilly bar, hot fudge sundae, or their famous DQ blizzards. And for parties, anniversaries, or any occasion, order a DQ cake or a DQ blizzard cake. Dairy Queen of Huron is open every day of the week. Drive up, carry out, or dine in. Dairy Queen of Huron. Hot eats and cool treats.
At American Family Insurance, we believe that with the right support, any dream is possible. For auto, home, business, or life, contact us today.
This is Crystal at Crystal Volquartson Agency Incorporated. Stop in or give us a call at 853-3324.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI. American Family Insurance Company. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
You're listening to Dakota Country, KOKK in Huron.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue.
A judge agreed to delay sentencing in New York in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial until after the election. Donald Trump was in court in New York today as lawyers fight to overturn the verdict in the E. Jean Carroll sex abuse suit. Carroll was...
Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Here's Colda for three. Wide open. Got it. Colda's first basket, a big one. Here's a quick pass right side. Rainford. Rainford running for the pylon. Collision at the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
And welcome to Miller. KOKK sponsors here for Dakota Sports this year. Area sponsors include 6B Seed and Supply of Alpena, Ken Clark Insurance here on Regional Medical Center, Slumberland Furniture, Burns Manufacturing in Wessington, Olympic Motors, Dairy Queen in Huron, Car Chiropractic in Huron, Brian Davison State Farm Insurance, Dakota Land Feeds, Real Estate Connection, Graph Electric, South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Gary Zell Auto Glass, our post-game report sponsor. The Mirror Family Hair Care will bring us scoreboard updates. Our Miller backers include Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson CPA, American Family Insurance at Miller and Huron, and Miller Pump and Pack. And welcome to Miller tonight. Miller Highmore Harrold here on what I believe is, yes, Parents' Night at Bob Schroeder Field. And 7 o'clock game tonight against Mobridge Pollock. The Miller Highmore Harrold Rustlers come in with just the one game under their belt. All the way to Hot Springs last week. Came up short 21-14. We'll talk to Coach Bourneau, or we'll try to get a word with him here in the pregame show. I understand that one came down to a couple of feet right down at the end of the game. A 1-1 mark for Donovan Flaherty as they had a game in that week 0. They beat Lee Deadwood in the opening week, lost to Groton last week. So we'll talk to Coach Donovan Flaherty here in just a moment. You're listening to the pregame show. We'll get your starting lineups. We'll talk officials here in the pregame show. We'll get you as much of that Bourneau interview as we can here as we get underway. A couple minutes behind schedule. A lot of football to talk here. First with Donovan Flaherty, head coach of Mobridge Pollock. So we'll send it back to the studios here for a short timeout. When we return, Donovan Flaherty, head coach of the 1-1 Mobridge Pollock Tigers. You're listening to the pregame show live from Miller tonight. Miller Highmore Harrold, the Rustlers hosting the Mobridge Pollock Tigers. Coach Flaherty is next on KOKK.
6 F-35 fighter jets, 1 NFL team,
That's
a trip to the moon. All have $1 billion price tag. Something else that costs $1 billion, respiratory problems in the beef industry each year. It's time to fight back against these costly respiratory challenges. That's why Purina Stress Care Starters are formulated with RX3 immune support technology. It boosts calves' natural defenses, priming their immune systems from the start. Talk to your Dakota Land Feeds rep today to learn more about Purina Stress Care Starters.
When is the right home truly the right home? This is Reg Kleinsasser with the Real Estate Connection. First, can you afford it? Beyond the purchase price, you need to consider utility costs, maintenance costs, and property taxes. All of these factors add to the actual cost of a new home. Does the home meet your needs? Buying a large house when your kids are heading off to college in a few years, or paying for a view of the lake when you are hardly home probably doesn't make sense. At the Real Estate Connection, we are dedicated to helping you find a home that meets your needs without breaking your budget. We're ready to help you find the right home today. Give us a call, 352-1300, or visit our website, realestatehuron.com.
Graph Electric of Wolsey is proud to offer residential and commercial work in Wolsey and the surrounding area. Call Jay at 605-353-5366 anytime, day or night, to get the lights back on in your home or business. Check out Graph's Electric at graphelectricsd.com. Graph Electric, the home of electrifying customer service. Call Jay at 353-5366. Graph Electric is a proud sponsor of Area Sports.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash landed. I can see movement coming from the craft. Is it the sun? It is. It's confirmed and emerging now. Exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark. And yes, they're teaming up like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance, Wessington. Equal opportunity provider. 458-2281 for your crop insurance needs.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to the pregame show here in Miller, live tonight here on 1210 KOKK as Miller hosts Mobridge Pollock here this evening. And we'll talk to the Miller head coach here in a moment. Right now, Mobridge Pollock head coach Donovan Flaherty. And Donovan, thanks for joining us here. I guess we got to start here before we get to that week 1 win and a defeat in week 2. Let's talk about the offseason. How was the participation in the offseason for Mobridge Pollock this year?
It wasn't too bad. We
Eric and Jonathan Alpazar, sons of Edwin and Tony
we have a lot of kids that are involved in more than just football. So, they have other activities that they were going with too. We had a lot of kids that, they would go to basketball and then they were able to come in afterwards. But, I really wasn't too discouraged necessarily. My philosophy, I guess, on off season has really changed within about the last couple of years. And I want our kids, if they have the time and ability and want to make it a priority, I want them to be able to come in. I want them to get better at what they do. But I also want them to be able to enjoy their summers. I want them to be able to have go make memories with their families and be able to get away from sports a little bit, because we got a lot of kids that they do football, they do baseball, they do track, they do basketball. They're running around all the time, all around the year. And so we want kids in, we want to help get them better, but we also want to be able to allow them the opportunity to be able to relax, be able to have fun, and still be a kid. And that being said, we just felt like, and I felt like part of the priority has to be us working to develop those kids more during our sports season, and that's where I want to place my emphasis. And then through that, as kids get older and as we establish and build that culture, not only in football but from sport to sport across our entire district, that's where I think then from there, summers, it'll take care of itself.
So you guys hit the official varsity field here August the 23rd. That one was a win at home against Lee Deadwood. You blanked them 32-0. Coach, start off with a season-opening win. Throw out a few points about that game.
I thought we played a pretty clean game. When we went back and looked at the film, we didn't have a lot of assignments that we missed. We didn't have a lot of things where we were lining up incorrectly. We did a good job. I think that it was a real testament to our coaches being able to prepare our players and get them ready for the game. I think it was a testament to our players for being able to learn and understand what the coaches were trying to, what we were trying to accomplish and what we're trying to do. And I thought it was just a nice way to start the season. If you went back to the previous year, my first year as head coach, we didn't start the year off with a win, and it's a little tough when you don't start off with a win, because then you're looking at all these different little things that you feel like you need to fix because just a bunch of different stuff went wrong. But being able to start on the right side of things, there's still things that we obviously need to improve upon and get better at. But it was nice for us to be able to feel good about where we were at that point in time.
Without even having had a conversation with you about the age of your team, just looking at your starting lineup, it's basically either a sophomore or a senior. So I got to think going out there that first week, there were some question marks.
Yeah, you just never know from year to year where you're going to have kids. You always expect kids to jump up, whether it be a freshman to a sophomore. And we had a lot of freshmen on our team that played significant minutes last year. Sophomore to junior, junior to senior, you expect jumps from kids, but you just never really know what you're going to get. And, you never really know exactly where you're at until you're able to go out there and play against another team's varsity.
And so you take on Groton last week. Now, this is the first also of 3 road games. You were at Groton last week, at Miller, Highmore, Harrold tonight, at Aberdeen, Roncalli next week, but then you do get 3 at home. So the first of those 3 road games, you go to Groton, you fall 29-12. Now, Groton's a pretty good football club, huh?
Yeah, we knew we were going to go up there and it was going to be a tough physical fight. And anybody that was there or anybody that's watched that film, I would say that they probably got that just by watching that. While we didn't come out on the right side of things, we did a lot of really good things, I thought. We really were physical at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. We ran the ball well. We controlled that tempo and pace. We gave up, unfortunately, some big plays, and that was kind of our problem last year, too, is we would give up some plays, and we were always about 2 to 3 plays short. And, with that Groton game, I feel very similar about that. We had, I think, 5 red zone trips and only scored on 2 of them. And unfortunately, that's just not winning football. So for us, it's about being able to look at that film and also for the kids, because a lot of the kids are kids that we brought back from last year, being honest with ourselves and saying we have to do better and we have to be able to improve in these areas if we want to be a winning ball club this year.
Coach, you got a Miller Highmore Harrold team here on the road tonight that took on Hot Springs, fell last week 21-14. I'm sure you probably got to look at that film. What did you learn about the Rustlers here in scouting for tonight?
Well, they're going to be feisty. You can just tell by watching that game. It was a really good, really physical ball game. That was Hot Springs' second game, and that was only Miller's first. And so for them to be able to match physicality-wise, I think was a great testament to them and their coaches getting them ready from a physical sense. Obviously they do things, I would say, counterintuitive. Maybe that's not the right word, but maybe different compared to a lot of teams across the state of South Dakota, which, for them gives them, I think, definitely an advantage. They throw the ball so much, and they have some good athletes. They got the Brueggemann kid, who's a very good quarterback. They got the Hunter kid who can catch the ball for them and is a big physical receiver. And you just don't see a lot of teams with that type of play style. And so for us in practice, it's difficult to replicate, to give our defense a look. And obviously in practice, you think it looks really good, and then all of a sudden game time comes around where you're playing another team's varsity, and it might look completely different than what you were expecting. So for them, I think it gives them a distinct advantage being able to just have a completely different style of what they play for football in comparison to a lot of the teams in South Dakota from an offensive perspective. And defensively, obviously they're very physical. They want guys near and around the line of scrimmage. I'm sure they've seen our film. They know we like to run the ball. And so for us, we got to figure out how can we have a little bit of balance. How can we keep them defensively off balance with being able to throw the ball a little bit so that we can, help loosen up their defense, because that was something we didn't do a great job of last week.
Coach, before I let you go, I want you to do my job a little bit. Tell me which of these Tigers, who am I going to be calling out a lot of? Who kind of primarily leads you, maybe rushing, throwing, catching, tackling, all the big things out there?
Our quarterback, Jack Sneisman, does a pretty good job, and he'll do a good job with running our offense. We feel really good about having him as a savvy senior. Max Saxon is a guy that you're going to be talking about, I would assume, quite a bit. He runs the ball well for us, and he's a very hard runner, very patient, though, as letting the holes develop. On the defensive side, you're going to hear probably a lot from Easton Eisman at safety, especially with how much Miller throws the ball. I would assume him, Mr. Luke Olson, Cale Knutson, kind of our back half. Those guys are going to have to play really well, and so I would expect you to call their names quite a bit throughout the game. There's also Shane Henderson and Jackson Eisman in our defensive secondary as well. So those guys are really going to have to play well, I think, for us to be able to have a good opportunity.
Real good, Coach. Well, thanks so much for all the great information on Tiger football here. You're a great interview. I'll hopefully talk to you down the road, and good luck in the game tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Donovan Flaherty there, head coach of the Mobridge Pollock Tigers. Let's send it back to the studios. When we return here, we'll talk Miller Highmore Harrold football with Michael Barnard, first-year head coach for the Rustlers. We're back in 2 minutes on KOKK.
Playing the game means bumps, bruises, and breaks happen. Lean on Huron Regional Medical Center Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Orthopedic surgeons Dr. Kevin Over and Dr. Todd Anderson, along with the Pro Rehab Physical Therapy teams, are here to get you back in your game. Schedule an appointment at huronregional.org, because when it comes to your health, the right care is right here. Best of luck to our area athletes from Huron Regional Medical Center.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Vern's Manufacturing of Wessington into your farming operation.
At Olympic Chevrolet in Huron, count on an experienced staff. Count on a knowledgeable staff. At Olympic Chevrolet, count on a helpful and friendly staff. So whether you're in the market for a brand new vehicle or a used, dependable vehicle, count on the staff at Olympic Chevrolet to help you get the vehicle that best fits your needs. Olympic Chevrolet. Call them at 605-352-6411. See them at 500 4th Street Northeast in Huron or go online at olympicgmc.com. Drive off the lot today with the vehicle that you've been dreaming about from Olympic Chevrolet.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Matt Watson back on the pregame show here on 1210 KOKK, live from Miller tonight as the Miller Highmore Harrold Rustlers host the Mobridge Pollock Tigers. And we talked to Coach Flaherty there. Right now we sit down with Miller Highmore Harrold first-year head coach Michael Barneau. And Michael, thanks for joining us here. And before we get to week one, a very tight game in week one, and before we even get to the summer, we want to congratulate you on getting this job. You got this job in mid-May, took over mid-May, so you basically had a summer to work with the kids. So first off, I guess congratulations on the gig.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here. I've really enjoyed working with these kids at this point, and we're excited, honestly, to be in week two in the situation we're in. So,
and real quick before we get to this team, before we get to the kids, your passion for football, fantastic, and I see some good things happening for this Rustler program. This is going to be a good marriage, I think, Coach.
I think so too. I mean, so far I feel like we've taken to each other pretty well. They're pretty hungry, and they enjoy putting in extra time and lifting hard and training hard and practicing hard. So we feel pretty good about it. So I hope it goes very well.
So you have the summer to get your system in, and as we know, we were talking about it before, and I've talked about it with a ton of coaches over the 20 years here on Dakota Sports, that the summer is based on the kids. If they participate, if they're able to come in and show up a lot, then that's how much participation you will have. So you basically had that period. You had the summer practice period right at the beginning of the school year, and then you had a week one game. And that week one game, based on the limited time overall that you had to instill and work with your kids here, that first game you did take a loss, but it was 21-14. It was at Hot Springs, and you told me it was a whale of a game. Came down to the last play.
It did. The last play of the game, we were at the 20-yard line on a drive, and we threw a wheel route to the sideline. Caleb Roth actually got stopped at the half-yard line, and we're not quite sure if he did. It's disputable. We're not quite sure, but it's hard to tell where his foot was. But he gave it a great effort, and it wasn't his fault. But it just came down to the last play at the half-yard line. You can't lose a football game any closer than we did. So we felt great about the effort. We felt great about what we did in the game. We obviously wanted a different result, but I tell you what, everyone that came to watch that game got their money.
So, Coach, I do a little bit of scouting on my own, and I was told that your approach may be somewhat unconventional. Sounds like you like to maybe throw the ball a little bit more than the people like that are used to. Now, do you see it when you're writing it up and when you're instilling plays and when you're making the plan here for the Rustlers? Do you see it as kind of new or innovative, or this is just your style?
This is just my style. This is the offensive scheme I prefer. I know that a lot of teams throughout the state lean very heavily on their run game. It's very true. South Dakota football has always been a state that prides itself on tough football. I'm from West River originally. Everyone out there runs, I formation, double wing out in East River. West Central, their rise to power in the early thousands was based on the double wing. And most teams out here have a proud tradition of defense and running the football well. My thought was, when I took the job, was to install something new and concepts that a lot of teams out here don't see that often, in hopes that it would give us sort of advantage, but it also fits our personnel. We don't have a lot, especially this season, a lot of guys who really fit kind of the double tight fullback set. So, but we have very good players, but if you play them wrong, a lot of players are not going to look as good as they should because they're not being used properly. So I feel the scheme we run is conducive to what we have, very much so. And I feel confident in our guys' ability to execute what we do.
Well, and that segues perfectly into what I want to talk about next is your team. You got a lot of returning players here. You got a lot of talent. Isaac Hunter, Gentry, Harrold, Kellen Hurd, Kobe Kolda, of course, running everywhere. Derek Brueggemann's got experience at quarterback. The linemen are all coming back with experience. Yeah, you got a ton of kids that have a ton of playing time.
We do. But it's worth noting that Gentry and Colby will be making their season debuts in this game, and they did not play last week. But yes, we actually have had a lot of guys that have seen a lot of battles, and we definitely felt that some of that leadership in the game on Friday night, and it's definitely something we're gonna lean on in the future. But yes, like having a lot of returning starters is always good. Coming in as a first-year coach, it's always good to try to identify, who your leaders are early. But yes, lots of veteran leadership and lots of talent at the skill positions.
Were Gentry and Colby, were they injured, or was that just a scheduling conflict, or what happened there with week one?
Well, Colby had an injury preseason. He was on the ranch, and he sustained an injury that kept him out of week one. Gentry just had a trip. He was off with family on a trip in Alaska, so his was non-injury, non-football related. But Colby is back, and we feel good about where he's at.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about Mobridge Pollock. You got a team coming in tonight at they 1-1. They beat Lee Deadwood there in the opening game. They lost to Groton last week. I assume you've seen plenty of tape on this Tiger team. What have you learned about Mobridge Pollock?
Very, very explosive at the skill spots. The quarterback can run as well as just about anyone in the state. The running back, the sophomore number 4, is a fantastic player. But you just bounce off him. If you ever play pinball and you watch a ball bounce around, that's what it's like watching him run with the football. So he's very explosive. Got to deal with him. Some considerable size up front. More 2x4 maulers up front. Last week we saw more athleticism at defensive end. But Mobridge is very tough on defense. They play great team defense, and they play an unconventional defensive formation. It's a 3-3-5 stack, which can pose real problems because you just don't see it very often. And the angles, it can mess up blocking angles. So I have a lot of respect for the way they play football in Mobridge from the film that I've seen. And they're very tough, and they've got a lot of talent at the skill positions. So it'll be a great challenge. I think it's going to be a fireworks game. I really think it's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
It looks like it's going to be a good one. And just so you know, Coach, I got 3 of your games on the schedule, so kind of get used to seeing me around. Now, when you get everything ready, like we said, mid-May you get the job, you move to Miller, you get everything kind of settled, you get the practices in, you get the season started there, the loss to Hot Springs. As you move along here, what were the goals that you guys set? Not you personally, and I know when you say goals, the team say, well, we want to win a state championship. And sure, everybody wants to win a state title, but you instill certain goals throughout the season. Did you instill like milestone goals by game 4, by game 6? Did you guys just go season goals overall, or is this just a getting to know you kind of season, Coach?
So in some ways it is a getting to know you season. I didn't want to place goals on this team pre-season to kind of because you never know where that ceiling might actually be. I don't want to give them like a milestone. However, we do have weekly milestones we do pursue. Defensively, we have 2 goals. We try to keep teams below 13 points a game and below 2 yards per carry. Those are 2 hard numbers that we look to get each week. We didn't quite get there week 1. We gave up a couple explosives, but outside of the explosives, Hot Springs did not do much on the ground. So we actually did accomplish a lot of good things week 1, but those are 2 hard goals we have in that. So we don't have rushing or passing goals because based on the week, we might like throwing it more than like running it, and vice versa. So in some ways it's a getting to know you season, but in other ways, I don't like putting hard lids on my team when those goals can be affected by the way the game is played or what our game plan might be.
I like it, Coach. I like the approach. I like the dedication. I think you're going to do good things. I think you and the Miller Highmore Herald Rustlers going to be together for a while here. Thanks so much for talking to us. Like I said, get used to talking to me a couple of times for sure this season. Hopefully some playoff games, and good luck in the game. You know we'll be talking to you down the road.
I appreciate it very much. Thanks for having me.
Michael Barneau, their head coach of the Miller Highmore Herald Rustlers. We're going back to the studio for a couple of minutes. We'll come back starting lineups. We got officials. We're going to be about ready for a 7 o'clock kickoff. Mobridge Pollock at Miller Highmore Herald. Starters, officials, and kickoff is next on 1210 KOKK. And that is the situation.
Dakota Sports.
That is the situation here. We are just underway. The Mobridge Pollock Tigers win the toss. They elect to take the football, and Miller Highmore Herald, Eric Brueggemann, the kickoff ends up out of bounds, and I don't think anybody touched it, so they'll take the penalty. So we'll start off with our officials, as always brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Matt Rounds, Mark Logan, Mark Gagaby, Chad Ulrig, and Greg Rislov, your law on the field tonight. Matt Rounds, Mark Logan, Mark Gagaby, Chad Ulrig, and Greg Rislov, your officiating crew here in Miller tonight as Miller Highmore Herald hosts Mobridge Pollock. And again, the Tigers will get the football first. They'll go from their own 35. Mobridge Pollock offensively, Wyatt Ziegler, the center. The guards, Eli Eagle and Axton Gates. The tackles are Carter Hins and Carter Schmeichel. Shane Henderson, a tight end. Easton Eisenman and Cale Knudsen, the wideouts. Jackson Eisenman, the quarterback. Kellen Fitzer at fullback. And Max Saxon at running back. And we'll start off with, I think, a flag. Oh, and it's offsides on Miller. So the Rustlers will take the first penalty of the day. It's an offside call on the Rustlers. Rustlers defensively, Ollie Fritschke, a D tackle, Marshall Conkey, the nose, William Riesel, a D end. Linebackers, Miles McPeak, Brecken Anderberg on the inside, Colby Kolde, Kellen Hurd on the outside. Isaac Hunter, Talon Ping, Gentry Harrow, Caleb Roth all making up the defensive secondary. And the Tigers with a lot of motion, 4 guys now wide to the right. A quick pass right side is fumbled and incomplete, and wasn't sure if it was going to be a forward pass. Turns out it was. Eisenman to Saxon is incomplete. So that'll make it 2nd and 5 as Mobridge goes to the air on the opening play. We'll also see Jordan Heilman a little bit, I understand, and Cody Fanning, and we'll try to get a look here. There was some chirping about maybe Kolde not being able to go to get this thing started. 22, he's out there right now. It'll be Eisman from the gun, 2 in the backfield, or motion man right to left. He'll set up 2 receivers on the far side. A 2nd and 5 from their own 40. Saxon breaks through. He's got the first down and then some. He's across midfield and down to the Rustler 45. So the pickup here is 15 for Mark Saxon. So the passing play and the opening play doesn't work out. The running play, though, breaks off 15, and now a 1st and 10 into Rustler territory at the Miller Highmore Herald 45-yard line. Game just underway here in Miller. Parents' night, got that underway earlier, got that all figured out here, got underway here just a couple minutes behind schedule. Motion left to right. They fake the handoff to Eisenman and run left side. The quarterback, Jackson Eisenman, going to keep it himself, and he's got awful close to a first down mark. Well, maybe closer to 7 or 8 here. Well, we'll go 7 as the quarterback gets his first carry. Pickup is 7, 2nd and 3. So 2nd and 3 will go from the Rustler 38-yard line. Eisenman, the snap, handoff Saxon right up the gut. Saxon a first down and then some. Grinds it out to about the 30. And it looks like they'll have him down all the way to the 28. So the pickup is 9 for Saxon, and the ground game working early for Mobridge Pollock as the Tigers move the chains once again with the rushing play. They'll have him down at the 30, so the gain there actually closer to 7. But does move the chains, and a 1st and 10 Mobridge Pollock at the Rustler 29, just inside the 30-yard line. Here's Heisman from the pistol. Handoff, Saxon, right side, runs into William Riesel, and Riesel able to drag him down. Short gain for Saxon. For Mobridge Pollock, the first rush play that hasn't gone for +5. That one will go for about 2 yards. And we'll now bring up a 2nd and 8 at around the Miller 27. So the Rustler defense giving up a couple of big run plays. Now trying to settle in here as Mobridge Pollock trying to strike first. They got the football first. Trying to strike on that opening drive. Handoff coming across is number 2, Easton Heisman. Heisman trying to make the corner. He will not get there. Ridden out of bounds by Isaac Hunter. Let's see. He did get a few yards out of the deal. I think he'll end up, he'll end up with maybe about 3. That'll be the case, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
25-yard line.
So nice little pickup for Easton Eisman, the 3rd different ball carrier here tonight for Mobridge Pollock as they mix it up a little bit here. They'll go 3rd and 5 from the Rustler 25, 9:25 remaining opening quarter. Parents' night here in Miller. Here's Easton Eisman coming across. He won't get the handoff. The other Eisman will take it. Jackson, the quarterback, he'll dive ahead, and not much there for Jackson Eisman. He'll pick up maybe a yard or so, and it's going to make it 4th and 4. So, of course, go for it territory here at the Rustler 24-yard line, but a chance here for this Miller defense to stand pat and get the football back on the Tigers' opening drive. Mobridge Pollock, 4th and 4 at the Rustler 24. Jackson Eisman from the pistol. He's got a man to his right. One behind him is Saxon. One wide each side. Back to pass is Eisman. Lobs one right side. Wide open touchdown for Mobridge Pollock.
Touchdown, Tigers.
Shane Henderson from 24 yards out, and the game's first touchdown will come with 8:44 to play in quarter number 1. So the Tigers here will look for 2. Handoff, little misdirection. Saxon trying to make the corner. Nice stiff arm to get away from the first, but did he get in? Oh, he did. He reaches out and gets the 2-point conversion in. So 8:44 to play opening quarter, 8-0 Mobridge Pollock. We're back to Miller in a minute. 60 seconds on KOKK.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dairy Queen's ice cream, of course. Get your favorite cool treats at Dairy Queen of Huron. Get a chocolate-dipped cone, a dilly bar, hot fudge sundae, or their famous DQ blizzards. And for parties, anniversaries, or any occasion, order a DQ cake or a DQ blizzard cake. Dairy Queen of Huron is open every day of the week. Drive up, carry out, or dine in. Dairy Queen of Huron. Hot eats and cool treats.
Hi, I am Tyson Lean. As a college wrestler, I push my body to the limit every day. But after a few injuries, I started to feel like I wasn't performing at my best. That's when I turned to Carr Chiropractic and their team of experts. Through a combination of adjustments, rehab, and natural supplements, I was able to recover faster, reduce my pain, and improve my overall performance on the mat. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to improve your health, I highly recommend giving Carr Chiropractic a try.
Committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. 8:44 to play opening quarter. Mobridge Pollock able to score, not only put up the touchdown on the opening drive and the 24-yard pass play from Eisman to Henderson, but also Saxon able to tack on the 2-point conversion. So an 8-0 Mobridge Pollock lead as we get a look here at the Miller Highmore Herald offense. Remember, scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Area scores here tonight. Canastota leading Iroquois Lake Preston 14-0. 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter of that one. See if we get any other area scores. I know Wolsey Wessington with their homecoming tonight. See if we can find a score on that. Hanson leading DeSmet 3-0, I see. That's an early score, and of course not a lot of scores have been reported thus far. Here's Saxon with the run up and the kick, and the Rustlers have given up the onside kick. It went off Conkey, and trying to get on top of it there was Caleb Roth, but the Tigers able to sneak through and take that away. I don't think it was really a planned, so to speak, onside kick as much as kind of misplayed, and the Mobridge Pollock Tigers will get a chance here to get a couple of early scores here. 8:44 to play first quarter. Mobridge Pollock taking their time here on the turnover, and well, I guess what is technically sort of kind of a turnover. All right, well, here come the Tigers back out. So right back out there, Mobridge Pollock, and they're already starting the countdown here. They might get a delay of game. It's 1st and 10 at the Miller 44. 8:44 to play opening quarter. Tigers already 8-0, and now the onside kick giving them the shorter field. Saxon with the run, and he'll go right at the tackle, and not much there. Is there to make the stop is Marshall Conkey, and that was Riesel and Roth before on the kickoff, but Max Saxon able to knock out a couple of yards here. Well, maybe one. Set up second and a short 9. Well, we heard Coach Barneau wanted to hold him to 2 yards a carry to open the game. It wasn't that way, but since it has calmed down quite a bit. Here is Eisenman from the pistol, and this will be a tackle for a loss. They give it off to Saxon. First guy through was Conkey, and helping him finish him off there was Ollie Fritschke. So big stop there as Saxon goes for the first negative number of the night, and that's going to end up being about a 3-yard loss, set up a 3rd and 12. Big play there after the Rustlers give up the onside kick, and now an even bigger chance here with a 3rd and 12 for Mobridge Pollock at the Rustler 46, 47-yard line. Eisman from the pistol. Back to pass, looks left, chased out of the pocket, just trying to dump it off. Oh, and a nice catch inside the 25, and if all feet are inbounds, and it looks like it, a big catch there by who I think is Henderson again. Yeah, Shane Henderson, and another big catch is, I think Eisenman just kind of threw that one up. He was kind of running for his life there, but of course when you got a guy as tall as Henderson, you can kind of get away with doing that, and they're all the way down to the 25 here, so 21 yards the pickup there, and they'll look at it to pass it again. Left side pass complete, and a short gain here for the Tigers. We'll see who made that catch. Looks like Cale Knutson. And Knutson will pick up 5, and it'll bring up 2nd and 5. So just when the Rustlers think they have this Tiger team slowed down, figured out, or maybe even you want to say stopped, the Tigers come up with something. They did it on the touchdown on the opening play. Now the play to Henderson there, and now they pick up 5 on the quick pass play. Motion right to left, 2 receivers left. Back to pass is Eisman, trying to set up a screen, but nobody there to block for Saxon. That will fall incomplete, and will bring up 3rd and 5. Of course, go for it territory here for Mobridge Pollock on a 3rd and 5 from the Rustler 20-yard line. Clock at 7:08 left in the opening quarter. 8-0 Mobridge Pollock. Miller Highmore Herald trying to avoid going down 2 scores early on here at home. Mobridge Pollock scores on the opening drive, gets the onside kick. Works it down now to the Miller Highmore Harrold 20. On a 3rd and 5, motion left to right. Spins, handoff, Saxon. First down and then some. He's inside the 15. He's still moving. Inside the 5. And the pickup here is about 15 yards. So about 5 yards of it, or 7 yards of it running, and the other 8 was just moving the pile. So they'll go 1st and goal from the 5, and a chance for the Tigers here to go up a couple of scores early on here in Miller. Not even the midway point of the opening quarter, just inside of 7 minutes left here in the first. And Eisman under center for the first time tonight. He'll snap the handoff to Saxon, right side, and they won't score on the first attempt, but they do pick up about half of the yardage. So the pickup 2 or 3, and it'll be looking like basically a 2-point try here. On a 2nd and goal from just outside the 2, Mobridge Pollock already an 8-0 lead with 6:20 to play here in the first. Looking to tack on another, and Eisman will, on the naked boot, will take it in easily from 2 yards out. So Eisman with the 2nd touchdown for Mobridge Pollock. It'll come with 6:13 to play here in the first. Be a 2-yard Jackson Eisman run, and now we'll see what they elect to do as they got the 2-point conversion on the first touchdown. We'll see what they elect to do here, and they'll go for 2 again. It'll be Eisman from the gun. Saxon's behind him. Fitzer, the fullback, to his right. 1 wide each side. Back to pass Eisman. Quick pass left side. Diving catch made. 2-point conversion good. 6:13 to play first quarter for Miller. 16-0 Mobridge Pollock. We're back in a minute. 60 seconds on KOKK.
This is Matt Sibley with Brian J. Davidson Insurance Agency in Huron. You changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose, because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Brian Davidson will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family, no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Okay. Call today, because like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rocking Z Acres of Wessington provides USDA certified organic, SCI regenerative certified and conventional crop production, balancing biology with fertility. They offer a full line of organic and conventional products for plant nutrition, plant health, and soil biology to help local producers, including amino protein products to stimulate biology and plant hormones, amino-chelated micronutrients, compost extracts derived from local sources, and kelp products. Rocking Z Acres is proud to support Huron and area high school sports.
Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. Matt Watson tonight on 1210 KOKK. Scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. The Mirror, 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. They do accept walk-ins, 35 4th Street Southeast to be exact. You can call Lori for an appointment, 605-883-HAIR. Or you can call or text Kylie for an appointment, 605-553-1628. At the Mirror, they offer cuts, colors, waxes, perms, hair treatment, sugaring, eyelash extensions, shampoo sets. Stop in or get a hold of them at the Mirror. Wolsey Wessington, Castlewood, I got no score reported as of yet. Let's see, what else do we got? Howard leading Dubrook currently 13-0. See, we had a score on Iroquois Lake Preston. Canastota up 14-0 on Iroquois Lake Preston. About 4 minutes to play in the first of that one. The Tigers and Pierre, I don't have a report. They are on the air over on Tiger. Watertown up on 6-0 on Yankton. Another onside-er here for the Tigers. This one definitely intentional, and this one they get on top of. That was William Riesel. So back here to Miller as we'll wrap up more of the scoreboard there at the quarter break or maybe halftime here. Scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. 6:13 to play in the first quarter of this one. Mobridge Pollock already a couple of touchdowns here. We'll see for the first time tonight, thanks to the onside kick, the Miller Highmore Harrold offense, the Rustler offense on the field for the first time, trailing here now 16-0. And we'll get a look at their lineup here in a moment as we start off with Brueggemann from the gun and Colda to his left. They'll fake the handoff. Brueggemann's going to heave it right side. He's got Hunter open. Pass complete at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Am I saying it? Touchdown Rustlers. They go 51 yards on the opening play. It's Brueggemann to Hunter for 51 and the score. And that will get the crowd livened up here in Miller. So this one will come with 6:01 to play here in the first. 51-yard pass. Brueggemann to Hunter. Now they will line up for the extra point as Brueggemann, the snap and the hold, and the extra point is going to be no good, and Mobridge Pollock actually caught it in the end zone. I don't think you can return that, but either way, it'll stay 16-6 for now. 6:01 to play, quarter number one. Back to Miller in a minute. 60 seconds on KOKK.
The certified public accountant firm of Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP can take care of your tax and accounting needs. Income tax preparation, computerized bookkeeping, audit and not audit financial statements, estate planning, just among the services offered by Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson. Wishing the best to the Miller Rustlers, Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP CPA firm of Miller.
American Family Insurance.
This is Crystal Volkwartson, agent at Volkwartson & Associates, Inc. As your American Family Insurance agent in Huron and Miller, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. Call me today at 605-352-4943, and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're tuned to Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Welcome back to Miller. Well, 6 minutes of football, 22 points, 3 touchdowns, couple passing, 1 rushing. We've seen the naked bootleg already broken out tonight. Hunter on full display there from 51. And when Coach Barneau said he thought there was the possibility of seeing some fireworks tonight, I think he might have just nailed it. And, of course, Miller falling behind a little bit early as they give up that onside kick. So the Tigers a couple of early touchdowns, but now Miller gets one back on the single play. Here's Brueggemann on the ensuing kick. Run up in the kick near side, and Mobridge Pollock again. He's going to let it go out of bounds and take the ball, I would assume, at the 35. So the Tigers again will start off in their own territory, and we should almost take a look at the lineups for Miller's offense because they had just the one play. I didn't even get a chance to read off the lineup card there. I guess that's a good problem to have with 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Again, already 22 points on the board, 16-6. Mobridge Pollock in the lead. Brueggemann again kicks the ensuing kickoff out of bounds. So Mobridge Pollock, I think, at the 35. Yep, that's where they will start this drive. Remember, halftime, we'll get a look at the scorecard. We'll pass along any information that we have here. I think we got an NFL game on tonight, right? Packers-Eagles, is that what I saw? We'll try to pass along any scores we can get. I didn't have a Tigers score either. They're at Pier. That is our game of the night over on Tiger Radio on 1340 AM and 95.3 FM. Motion again from the Tigers as they empty the backfield, line up everybody wide to the left. Eisenman fakes the quick pass. He'll run it himself, and he's tackled for a loss. Trying to go right up the middle, but making the stop there was 66 Vincent Group. Going to be a loss of 1. set up a second and about 11 as Mobridge Pollock will go from their own 34. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Mobridge Pollock already their third offensive possession. They have 2 touchdowns on the first 2 opportunities. Here's the handoff. Saxon near side goes through the first and then into the linebackers, and that'll be it for that run. Saxon will pick up pretty close to 5 or maybe 6. We'll see where they mark him down. Yep, it'll be 6, and it'll set up third and around 4 or 5. So another nice run by Mac Saxon. 1 of 3 to carry the ball so far tonight. We've seen Easton Eisman, we've seen Jackson Eisman, and Max Saxon kind of the feature back. Kellen Fitzer lines up mostly next to his quarterback in the pistol, and here come the flags in, and I think that'll be motion here against Mobridge Pollock. So the Tigers will take their first penalty with 4:39 to play in the opening quarter. It'll turn a 3rd and 4 into a 3rd and 9. Just 1 penalty against Miller Highmore Harrold on the game's opening play. They were whistled for offside, so just a couple of 5-yard penalties. And when you're, I guess Mobridge Pollock's into game 3, but Miller just into game 2, that's a number that you like to keep low, of course, penalties. And that first game, you just kind of never know. I've seen some first games with 24 penalties between the teams. I've seen some pretty clean first game, but generally the high first game penalty numbers are opening season. Here's Henderson with the big stiff arm and a nice run after the catch. He'll pick up, let's see where they actually marked him out of bounds. It looks like they marked him a little shy of where he thought he ended up, so they'll have him at the 47. The pickup is about 13. And boy, Henderson put the stiff arm on his initial defender. Stretched that one into a first down. So 1st and 10, their own 47. Couple of receivers left. They'll go back to Saxon. Saxon, though, runs into Ollie Fritschke, and that'll be it for that run. Coming over to help finish him off, Kellen Hurd. And I think Riesel got a hand on that as well. It'll end up being a tackle for a short loss. Be about a -1 for Saxon. Oh, they say no gain, but no, it's a loss of 1. So 2nd and 11 here for Mobridge Pollock. Clock winding inside of 4 minutes left here in the first. And a lot of scoring already. 3 touchdowns. Mobridge Pollock, a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown. And Miller Highmore Harrold has a touchdown on a single offensive play. And here we're going to get a Mobridge Pollock timeout. 3:36 to play opening quarter. 16-6. The Tigers lead the Rustlers. We're back to Miller in a minute. 60 seconds on 1210 KOKK.
The next time you're heading through Miller, make a stop at Pump and Pack. Fill up the tank or just top her off. Pump and Pack features gas, premium gas, and diesel too. Head inside for your favorite snacks and drinks. Pump and Pack is the place for hot stuff pizza and hamburgers, breakfast foods, ice cream too. Miller Pump and Pack is proud to feature Bevo beef products, including ground beef steaks, jerky, and beef sticks. They're open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your locally owned and operated C-store. Pump and Pack, 709 North Broadway in Miller.
Do you know what your cattle are eating? Are they growing like you expect? At Dakota Land Feeds, their experienced feed consultants can help you be sure your cattle are getting everything they need to perform and what will help you increase your bottom line. Let Dakota Land Feeds help formulate the right ration to fit the needs of your cattle, whether you have growing calves, feedlot cattle, yearlings, or beef cows. Dakota Land Feeds has feed consultants across the territory to help serve you. See your local Dakota Land Feeds dealer today.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Back to Miller here. Mobridge Pollock on a 2nd and 11 after the tackle for a loss. Miller Highmore Harrold 0-1, hosting Mobridge Pollock at 1-1. The Huron Tigers on the road at Pier. That's our game over on Tiger Radio. The pitch outside. Saxon got the corner. Nice stiff arm across the 50, 45, and 40, and I think he's got the first down. Looks like he's down to around the 41 or 42. And that'll be a pickup here of about, oh, they got him all the way to the 39. So we'll go 13 for Saxon. And another fresh set of downs for the Tigers of Mobridge Pollock. They'll go 1st and 10 from the Miller 39. Eisenman sends the other Eisenman in motion. Jackson, though, going to keep it himself. Breaks through the line and slowed down at the linebackers and then finished off by Miles McPeak. Jackson Eisenman able to grind out about 7 there. And makes it about 2nd and 3. So the Tigers a 10-point lead. And 22 more offensive plays. The Tigers will right now run their 23rd play on their 16 points. Miller has run 1 play on their 6 points. So the Miller offense firing early, the defense having some problems, and Eisenman just overthrew him, and that will go incomplete, and we'll stop the clock with 2:35 left here in the first quarter, and we'll set up now a 3rd and 3 for the Tigers. Mobridge Pollock has not had a lot of 3rd down worries here tonight, and not that this is too much of a worry. At 3 yards, they've had runs pretty consistently in that neighborhood. 1, 2, 3, 4 negative numbers. And they've broken off a couple of big ones. Here's a 3rd and 3 from the Miller Highmore Harrold 33. Eisenman, Jackson will send the other Eisenman, Easton in motion. Easton will get it on the option, and a nice stop there by Colby Kolda as Kolda chases down the option runner, number 2, Easton Eisenman, and tackles him for a loss. So that's going to go for a loss, so pretty close to 3 or 4 yards. Going to make it 4th and 8. So Jackson there with the option, and might have probably been better served to just hold on to it himself there, as he had a couple of defenders there, but Easton had one on him a couple yards back. So now a 4th and 8 for Mobridge Pollock. This time they'll go wing right, 2 receivers left, and Saxon, the lone man in the backfield. Eisenman going to take it himself. No, he's going to pass it. Pass is complete to Easton Eisenman, and that'll pick him up a 1st down. Needed 8 yards from the 38 and ended up getting about 14. So another 1st and 10 here for Mobridge Pollock. They'll set themselves up at the Miller 25-yard line. 1:35 left here in the opening quarter. Mobridge Pollock a 16-6 lead, and looking for more here on the 1st and 10 from the Rustler 25. And Eisenman back to pass. Nope, he's going to run it. Jackson running down the left sideline, and he's escorted out of bounds somewhere around the 1st down marker. We'll wait and see where they mark him down. In fact, he may have got the 1st down, and he did. They'll mark him at the 10, or no, the 15. So pickup of around 10 there, and Eisenman will again move the chains for Mobridge Pollock. So a 1st and 10 now at the Miller Highmore Harrold 15-yard line. Eisenman the snap. Miller sending the blitz, and Saxon able to grind through that initial wave. He's down inside the 5. He's still moving, and I think he's down to about the 1. We'll see where they mark him down. Yeah, they'll mark him down there around the 2 or 3. So pickup is around a dozen, and Saxon just able to kind of move the line with him there. They haven't moved. They still got the down marker up, but yeah, it's definitely a first and goal. So first and goal, Mobridge Pollock from the 3-yard line. They'll run Saxon to the near side trying to get the corner, and he will get there as Max Saxon from 3 yards out, and the Tigers' third touchdown.
The 3-yard touchdown run.
So the game's fourth score will come with 1:05 to play here in the first. Be a 3-yard Max Saxon run. And they will line up here for a 2-point try with 1:05 remaining here in the opening quarter, leading now 22-6, and taking a little extra time here getting ready for the 2. You got Henderson, the lone man, wide to the right, a couple receivers left and a couple in the backfield, and they're going to heave it up to Henderson again, and this one is incomplete, knocked away by Hunter. 22-6 is where we'll stay. Mobridge Pollock in the lead, 1:05 to play. Opening quarter from Miller. We're back in a minute. 60 seconds on 12:10 KOKK.
When is the right home truly the right home? This is Reg Kleinsasser with the Real Estate Connection. First, can you afford it? Beyond the purchase price, you need to consider utility costs, maintenance costs, and property taxes. All of these factors add to the actual cost of a new home. Does the home meet your needs? Buying a large house when your kids are heading off to college in a few years, or paying for a view of the lake when you are hardly home, probably doesn't make sense. At the Real Estate Connection, we are dedicated to helping you find a home that meets your needs without breaking your budget. We're ready to help you find the right home today. Give us a call, 352-1300, or visit our website, realestatehuron.com.
6B Seed and Supply of Alpena is your Legend Seeds dealer and wishes good luck to all area teams. As a Legend Seeds dealer, 6B has access to all the leading traits, genetics, and innovative biologicals in the industry. You can guarantee they have your best interest in mind. Call 6B Seeds 605-354-2699 and put their name and Legend Seeds products to work on your option.
Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. Mobridge Pollock, a 22-6 lead, and they will kick it deep this time. It'll be returned by Isaac Hunter from the 20, the 25, and the 30, and they'll mark him down around the 32 or the 33-yard line. And, of course, Hunter is the receiver that we saw in the one play that Miller Highmore Harrold has ran here in the opening quarter. It was a 51-yard touchdown pass, Brueggemann to Hunter. It gave the Rustlers their points on the board. They trail now 22-6 as Mobridge Pollock scores on the opening drive, then gets it back on the onside kick. Gave up a touchdown and now have scored again. So Miller with the ball back, a minute to play in quarter number 1, 22-6 your score. Brueggemann will go from the gun, 2 wide left, 1 right. Colder, the handoff, he fumbled it. He's going to get back on top of it. They'll lose around 5 yards, and we'll set up for a 2nd and long, and we'll see if they get another play. I think they will have to. So technically, I think a fumble that they did recover. It'll go for a loss of 5, and we'll bring up a 2nd and 15. And the same look, motion right to left is Hunter. Hunter will get the handoff coming across. Isaac trying to make the corner, head down, and tried to get over a would-be tackler, and I think he got the negative yardage back in a few more as Isaac Hunter, the first positive carry here tonight, is a 7-yard tote. It'll set up a 3rd and 8. Next quarter, they'll let the first quarter run out here in Miller. After a quarter of football, Mobridge Pollock 22, Miller Highmore Harrold 6. We'll switch ends and be back to Miller in a minute. 60 seconds on 12:10 KOKK.
Graf Electric of Wolsey is proud to offer residential and commercial work in Wolsey and the surrounding area. Call Jay at 605-353-5366 anytime, day or night, to get the lights back on in your home or business. Check out Graff's Electric at graphelectricsd.com. Graff Electric, the home of electrifying customer service. Call Jay at 353-5366. Graff Electric is a proud sponsor of Area Sports.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash landed. I can see movement coming from the craft. Is it the sun? It is. It's confirmed and emerging now exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark. And yes, they're teaming up like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance, Wessington. Equal opportunity provider. 458-2281 for your crop insurance needs.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Scoreboard updates brought to you by Lori and Kylie at the Mirror. The Mirror Family Hair Care is at 35 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. Scoreboard, area scores. Iroquois Lake Preston trailing Canastota 28-0. 5 minutes to play in the first half of that one. Sunshine Bible Academy is leading Colombe 16-0 with 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Avon way out in front of Burke 24-7. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter of that one. Howard all over Dubrook 31-0. About 8 minutes to play in the first half there. Wolsey Wessington and Castlewood zeros with 10 minutes to play in the half. And we'll get you any other scores courtesy of the Mirror Family Hair Care. 22-6. Mobridge Pollock leads here, and Brueggemann is sacked on the first pass attempt here of this drive. So the big sack there, and that's going to go for a big loss. Loss is 8, 4th and 18. For Mobridge Pollock, Carter Schmeichel, Carter Hins, Wyatt Ziegler, your front three. Braden Winches, Tyler Schmeichel, Kellen Fitz are the linebackers. They'll run Shane Henderson, Jackson Eisman, Easton Eisman out there at safeties. Luke Olson, Cale Knudsen will be corners. They run a 3-3-3 stack, and Miller here on a 4th and a mile is ready to punt. But we haven't had much of a chance here. Miller had the one score and then now a 3 and out. And Saxon going to return this kick from inside the 40-yard line, and not much of a return, just a couple of yards. And nice kick there by Isaac Hunter, and Mobridge Pollock will take over again here with 10:49 to play in the first half. Tigers a 22-6 lead, and they'll have pretty decent field position. They'll go from their own 40. Well, I think I saw Pierre leading Huron 6-0. That is our game of the night, of course, over on Tiger Radio on 95.3 FM and 1340 AM. Yep, Pierre 6, Huron nothing. That's 11 minutes to play in the second quarter of that one. See if Hitchcock-Tuller must be on an open week tonight. Hanson leading DeSmet 17-8. Scoreboard updates again brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. Mobridge Pollock back in control of the football, and they have been able to dominate the time of possession here tonight. As Saxon, the run, pick up 2, Kellen Hurd over to make the tackle. So a 2nd and 8 here for Mobridge Pollock, and Coach Barneau thought that this could potentially be a game with a lot of fireworks, a lot of scoring, and I'm sure he doesn't like the ratio, but he was correct. 28 first quarter points, and Mobridge Pollock and a fumble on the snap, and Miller got on top of it. Miller, Highmore, Harrold diving in. Number 76, Marshall Conkey, able to recover the fumble. So a big turnover there, and it'll go back to Miller, Highmore, Harrold with 10:06 to play in the first half. Now the Tigers got the ball to start this game, so the Rustlers, of course, will get it to start the second half. So we'll see how much this changes things here as the Miller, Highmore, Harrold will go with the shorter field, too, from the Mobridge Pollock 38-yard line. Brueggemann from the gun, Kolda to his left. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Brueggemann back to pass, looking for Hunter right side. Hunter double covered, pass tipped up and nearly intercepted, but it'll fall incomplete, and Hunter is slow to get up.
Coverage on the play. Easton Howman in there as well.
Hunter will stay in the football game and line up to catch a pass. As he had a couple of defenders on him there, as Luke Olson and Shane Henderson both there. So now a 2nd and 10 from the Tiger 38. Just inside of 10 minutes to play in the first half. Brueggemann again to pass. Fires it over the middle. Pass complete. On the run is Hurd. And he is in for the touchdown. That'll go for 38 to Kellen Hurd.
Pass complete to number 10, Kellen Hurd. From about 30 yards out, touchdown for Miller makes it 22-12 inside of 10 minutes in this second quarter.
So the touchdown here for Miller. It'll be the 5th touchdown overall. It'll be the 2nd for the Rustlers. It'll come with 9:53 to play here in the second. So Brueggemann to Kellen Hurd. And now they'll try for the 2-point conversion. It'll be Brueggemann again, back to pass. Rifles it. A guy is down in the end zone. It's Hunter. He's out of bounds. And it'll go no good. 22-12, a 10-point Tiger lead. We're back to Miller in 60 seconds. 1 minute on 12:10 KOKK.
Playing the game means bumps, bruises, and breaks happen. Lean on Huron Regional Medical Center Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Orthopedic surgeons Dr. Kevin Over and Dr. Todd Anderson, along with the Pro Rehab Physical Therapy teams, are here to get you back in your game. Schedule an appointment at HuronRegional.org, because when it comes to your health, the right care is right here. Best of luck to our area athletes from Huron Regional Medical Center.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. 9:53 left here in the first half. Now 22-12. The Mobridge Pollock lead is 10. And a lot of times you'll look at two players or two teams playing each other and you'll say, well, on paper, well, the game obviously is not played on paper. And here's a nice return by Eisenman. He's going to return that to about midfield. So Mobridge Pollock with pretty good field possession. But again, the game not played on paper. And for Miller, Highmore, Harrold, that is fortunate because the Rustlers have 6 offensive plays. One of them's a sack. One of them's a fumble they recovered. But in the passing game, they are 2 for 3 for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they are hanging out with a total of 6 offensive plays in this football game. Mobridge Pollock, by the way, has run 30 and will get ready now to run their 31st. They have a fumble they did lose. They got a couple of rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown, and the Tigers 22-12 the advantage here as they take over with 9:48 to play in the first half. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield after the nice return by Jackson Eisenman. Eisenman was up under center. He will back it away and go pistol look, and that's what they've done most of the night. Henderson going to switch ends. Handoff right side. Saxon cuts it back in across midfield. Pickup of a couple. Gain here is 2, 2nd and 8. Well, make sure to stay tuned at halftime. We'll get a look at all the numbers. Of course, I take the numbers, so they are unofficial. I take them as I call the game, so I call them ballpark numbers. They're usually fairly close. Fake the handoff to Easton Eisenman. Jackson's going to keep it himself, and he just keeps on going. He's in for 10, 15, 20. He lost the football, but Mobridge Pollock is going to end up on top of it, but of course you can't move the football on that play, so we'll see where they mark him down. It looks like he's at the 29. So the pickup here pretty close to 20 for Jackson Eisenman. They'll mark it down at the 29. So that's where the Tigers will go 1st and 10. Tigers a 22-12 lead. Jackson Eisenman from the gun. Couple of receivers near side. Easton Eisenman, the man in motion. They'll fake the handoff. They'll give it to Saxon. Saxon near side, slips a tackle. Into the pile, inside the 25, and gain is around 5 for Mac Saxon. Well, Mac Saxon and the Eisemans, all of the rushing plays here tonight. Jackson Eisenman, number 1. Easton Eisenman, number 2. Not a lot of penalties here tonight. Just one penalty against each club. They were both 5-yard penalties, so pretty clean football here. A lot of points, 34 points here with 8 minutes to play in the first half. Jackson Eisenman from the gun. Again, Max Saxon, right side, follows the tackle, cuts it back in. It's awful close to that marker. I think he'll have the first down here. They needed 4, and we'll see if they mark it or where they mark it. Looks like they're going to mark him just shy, so 3rd and 1 at the Rustler 20-yard line. And are they going to move the chains? Now they will. Now they'll just say that is a first down. And so the Tigers will get an extra moment or two as the chain gang gets set, but 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Mobridge Pollock threatening here for their 4th score of the night. They got a passing touchdown and a couple of rushing touchdowns to their credit. Jackson Eisenman, just as he's bringing him up, the whistle will stop play again. Do we have an equipment problem? Yeah, they had a problem with Colda's helmet or something, so they'll get him out of there. They'll swap in a player for him, and looks like we'll get this play underway. So 1st and 10 from the Miller Highmore Harrold 19. Jackson Eisenman back to pass, fires it over the middle, complete. And that'll be the first catch inside the 10 and awful close to the goal line here. And Shane Henderson with another catch there. We'll see where he's down to. It looks like inside the 5, down to around the 2. So the Tigers, another 1st and goal. They'll set up about the 3 or so. And now it looks like the officials will take a timeout. Or will they? He blew the whistle and put it on himself. Oh, now they're going to crank it up. So no timeout. And Mobridge Pollock will go 1st and goal from the 3. Eisenman from the gun, Saxon behind him. Bunching up the linemen, 1 wide each side. Saxon a run to the right side, and he's not in for the touchdown. I think he actually ended up maybe even a short loss. Miles McPeak over to help out on the stop, and we'll call it 2nd and goal from the 4. Just inside the midway point of the second quarter, 5:40 remaining here in the first half. 22-12, Mobridge Pollock on top. Tigers, though, threatening. Trying to tack on another. They'll go second and goal from the Rustler 4. And again, they'll bunch up the line. And again, they'll go to Saxon. And again, he'll get ridden down after another very short loss. So I think combined in the two plays, he loses a yard. So we'll say -1 the first time and 0 there. And it'll make it a third and goal at around the 4, and a couple of nice plays here by this Miller Highmore Harrold defense. And boy, what a huge turn of events it would be if they could get the ball back here without giving up a Tiger score. Because remember, Miller Highmore Harrold does get the ball back after halftime. And they have proven that they can move the football. Haven't taken a lot of plays to do it, but they've moved the football, and Jackson Eisenman is in trouble. They almost have him sacked once, almost sacked twice, and he'll throw it away. And the incomplete pass will make it 4th and goal at the 4. Eisenman just kind of running for his life there, and at the end of the play just decided to throw it where nobody could get to it. It'll stop the clock with 4:31 remaining here in the first half. And again, this is a huge stand for this Miller defense. Should they keep Mobridge Pollock out of the end zone, they get the ball back after the break. And if nothing else, you get a little momentum. You prove that you can stop this team that has scored 3 times on you already. So big play here for Miller Highmore Harrold. A lot of football left, but a big play here with 4:31 to play in the second. Eisman from the gun on a 4th and goal from the 4. Henderson in motion left to right. And they'll have to keep an eye on him because you could just throw it up to him. Tigers trying to get somebody to go off sides. They did not do it, so they'll burn a timeout. 4.5 to play in the first half. 22-12 Mobridge Pollock. Tigers on a 4th and goal from the Rustler 4 when we come back in 30 seconds. We're back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
The certified public accountant firm of Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP can take care of your tax and accounting needs. Income tax preparation, computerized bookkeeping, audit and not audit financial statements, estate planning, just among the services offered by Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson. Wishing the best to the Miller Rustlers, Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP, CPA firm of Miller.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. And again, with 4.5 to play here in the first half, there's a lot of football left to be played here, but 22-12, Mobridge Pollock in the lead. They got the opening possession. They scored there. They got an onside kick right after that, scored again. Rustlers would put up a touchdown, and then they've just kind of been trading here ever since. 22-12, a big play here for this Miller Highmore Harrold defense. Mobridge Pollock had it 1st and goal on the 3, and it's now 4th and goal on the 4. So a big opportunity here for this Miller Highmore Harrold defense to get the ball back without giving up points. They will also get it back after halftime, so a huge play here. Eisenman from the gun. Again, Henderson in motion, left to right. Eisenman on a 4th and goal from the Rustler 4. Eisenman to the near side. Quick pass is picked off. Tipped up initially by by number 20, Caleb Roth, and then eventually intercepted. So again, that is in my opinion, that is a huge turn of events for the Miller Rustlers here. Not only do they not give up that touchdown to keep it a 10-point game, you get the ball back with 4:20 to play in the first half, and you get the ball back after halftime. So step 1 for Miller accomplished. They did not give up the points. They got the football back. Now step 2, is you really want to try to put up some points here before the break, but 4:22 to play first half, 22-12, Mobridge Pollock by 10. Brueggemann from the gun on a 1st and 10 from their 6. Pass complete to Hurd across the 15, across the 20, and a nice play to start things there for Miller, Highmore, Harrold. So Hurd from the 6 to the 27, so a pickup here of around 21. And Brueggemann on the night I'm pretty sure, is 3 of 4 for about 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brueggemann will go from the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Colby Colda, the lone man with him in the backfield. High snap. He'll haul it in, hand it off to Colda. Colda left side, got a block. 35-40, 45 midfield. There's a flag on the play, and I think whatever happens, this one is probably coming back. But the Rustlers may also get a call on the other end as the player was thrown out of bounds, and there's a flag out of bounds there. So Mobridge Pollock, with that late hit, might have just given Miller this long run. The Rustlers tried to give it up with the hold, but I think we'll have a late hit on the other end. I don't believe, though, that's offset. I don't know. We'll wait and see what the officials have to say here. So we got more than likely a hold at the beginning of the play, and then I think a late hit at the end of it. So we'll see how the officials decide to hash this out with 3:51 to play here in the first half, and I think we're just going to replay the down. There's still a flag on the ground where what I assume would be a holding call. The other one got picked up, what I think was a late hit or some sort. But the officials, again, are talking things over, and we have the offsetting. I think we'll just play it again, but we'll wait and see. It's a chop block on the Rustlers. Oh, and that's it. No call on the other end. So they picked up the flag at the end of the play, and they'll mark off the chop block from the flag, which again is like at the 25-yard line. So Miller, Highmore, Harrold will lose 10. And their second penalty of the night will bring them all the way back to, I would assume, into the 17 or, well, maybe the 10, because the actual infraction happened around the 20. So what do we know for sure? There's 3:51 to play in the first half. We know Mobridge Pollock leads Miller, Highmore, Harrold here 22-12. And they will mark it back at the 10-yard line. So they need the 36 for a first down. So I guess first and about 26. Line up back around their own 12. Handoff, Colda, near side, another flag. And Hunter, the only Rustler even in the neighborhood on that play, and I don't know what the call is here. The Rustlers kind of acting like it's not against them. I don't know how it could be any other way. I mean, there was only one player in the neighborhood, and it was a Rustler. I guess it's against Mobridge Pollock. Oh, holding, defensive holding. So I guess they held Hunter down here, and so they'll get some of it back. And that'll mark them all the way back up to the 34. And that's going to make it first and about 3. Brueggemann from the gun. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Kolda, the lone man in the backfield. And now we'll have a Tiger timeout. 3:48 remaining. We'll get this play going eventually. 3:48 left in the first half. 22-12, Mobridge Pollock in the lead. Rustlers on, I think, a 1st and 3 from their own 34. When we come back in 30 seconds. Back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
American Family Insurance.
This is Crystal Volkwartson, agent at Volkwartson & Associates, Inc. As your American Family Insurance agent in Huron and Miller, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. Call me today at 605-352-4943, and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
Welcome back to Miller. 3:48 left here in the first half, and Mobridge Pollock a 10-point lead. Miller Rustlers moving the football. Are we now going to have a second down? I thought we had a couple of penalties here. So now, yeah, it is going to be a second down. So a second down and 3. And we'll try to get you some scores here. I know the Tigers were down 6-0. Miller, Highmore, Harrold, 2 wide each side again. Brueggemann back to pass, quickly flushed out. Looks left, he's got a little room, fires, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Hurd. So now a 3rd and 3. Rustlers at about their own 34. So again, we'll pass along any scores that we can find at the half. Tigers were trailing 6-0. We had no score between Wolsey Wessington and Castlewood. Miller, Highmore, Harrold trailing here. Mobridge Pollock 22-12. 3:40 to play in the first half of this one. Rustlers now on a 3rd and 3, their own 34. Kolda lone man out of the backfield, 2 wide each side, and Kolda hit in the backfield, but he got away initially, but he's not going to make positive yardage here as Kolda is hit initially for about a 3-yard loss, and he ends up losing about 1.5 yards.
Lose about a yard. Call it 4th down and 4 upcoming for the Rustlers.
So now a 4th and 4, and the Rustlers back at their own 33-yard line, so they'll have a decision to make here. I would assume you probably punt, but 4 yards is pretty close, and Hunter is the punter, and he is not on to punt, so they will go for it here. On a 4th and 4, Brueggemann from the gun, Kolda to his left. They'll go 1 wide to the right, 3 left. And Brueggemann's going to run it that way. Stops, now looking to pass. Flushed out, comes to the near side, spins off a 1 tackle. Lobs it ahead. Pass is complete. Is it complete? I think it is. It's across midfield. It's good for 22, and it is to Caleb Roth.
Down at the 44-yard line. 1st down.
So Roth, a big catch and run there. Well, not so much on the run, but nice catch. He pretty much tackled immediately. He's down to the Mobridge Pollock 44-yard line. So 16, we'll put him down for 22 on that one. And sets up a 1st and 10 in Tiger territory at the Mobridge Pollock 44. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Brueggemann from the gun back to pass. Rifles it right side. Coming back to the ball is Hurd, and it's over his head, not out of bounds. Actually, Roth, but incomplete. So I got Brueggemann 1, 2, 3, 4 for 7. I got him 4 of 7 for around 130 and a couple of scores. Incomplete pass will stop the clock at 2:16 left in the half. Brueggemann again from the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 right, and Hurd a wing right. And the snap is on the ground. Picking it up is Brueggemann and trying to make something out of it, but not able to do much. And now a flag on the play. So we'll see who this one will go on. as the officials talking it over briefly, but it looks like against Mobridge Pollock, and it is. It's a face mask. So that'll be a fresh set of downs for Miller, Highmore, Harrold. And again, just kind of keeping that theme going of, if you look at this game on paper, the Rustlers should probably not be within 10 points right now. They haven't ran a lot of offensive plays. They have nothing going rushing-wise. They have the 2 passing touchdowns, and that's, again, they are hanging around. They're down 10. They're making this drive, and they get the ball back after the break. Brueggemann flushed out of the pocket. Got to get rid of it. He's going to lose big yardage here. Does get rid of the football, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it down to Roth, and that was stood to go for a loss of around 15 if he doesn't get rid of it. And he did. That one trying to get it out to Gentry. Harrold for the first time. Harrold's been largely quiet here tonight. Of course, Harrold and Colda, neither one played last week. Colda has been in on every play. I don't know that that he's really come out much at all tonight. And I guess, again, for Harrold, he's just kind of been, it's been kind of a quiet night. Clock at 1:56 remaining in the half. 22-12. Mobridge Pollock by 10. Miller, Highmore, Harrold driving. They get the ball after the break. 1:55 to play here in the first half. They're on a 2nd and 10 from the Mobridge Pollock 30. Brueggemann again to pass. Right side. In the air. Easily intercepted by Shane Henderson. And boy, Henderson just kind of playing center field there, waiting for that one to come down.
A couple of times. And how about that 82 getting his paws on the football once again?
So Henderson with the pick. And a turnover to Mobridge Pollock with 1:48 remaining here in the half. And now, of course, the priority for Miller, Highmore, Harrold, just make sure that Mobridge Pollock does not score. You get the ball back after halftime. Still within 10. I'd say at this juncture, you got to probably call that a win, and we'll take a look at the numbers at the half, as the Rustlers should probably feel fortunate here to be in the position they're in. Mobridge Pollock will take over from their own 5-yard line. They'll go 1st and 10 after the first interception by Brueggemann. Quick pass, right side, complete to Saxon. He is tackled right at the goal line. Is that a safety? It is.
It's a safety for the Rustlers. Colda with a tackle in the end zone for the
So Colda makes the stop. The Rustlers will score the 6th time tonight. Will be unconventional with 1:40 to play in the second. A safety. An injured player down here for Miller. They'll take a look at him on the far side of the field. And actually, I think is everybody up now? Oh, no, there's a couple players coming back to the huddle. There still is one down there. Again, for Miller, Highmore, Harrold, they get the safety. So that'll make it 22-14. And, well, that changes the game quite a bit. Now a touchdown and a 2-point conversion ties it. And again, the Rustlers have a player down at the goal line down there. Can't see who it is. Don't want to send it back to the studio because I'm thinking as soon as they do, they'll help him up and be over to the sideline. I think we'll take a quick injury timeout. We'll take 30 seconds. Back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
The next time you're heading through Miller, make a stop at Pump and Pack. Fill up the tank or top her off. Pump and Pack features gas, premium gas, and diesel too. Head inside for your favorite snacks and drinks. Pump and Pack is the place for hot stuff pizza and hamburgers, breakfast foods, ice cream too. Miller Pump and Pack is proud to feature Bevo beef products, including ground beef steaks, jerky, and beef sticks. They're open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your locally owned and operated C-store. Pump and Pack, 709 North Broadway in Miller.
Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller, where Miller Highmore Harrold currently tending to injured running back Colby Kolda, and this is not looking good. They're running to the sideline with Kolda's helmet, and I'm pretty sure that they're calling in some sort of assistance here. Well, now Kolda's up. He is walking towards the sideline. He's not completely under his own power, but he's not being helped much. Is Kolda going to come to the sideline under his own power? So while seeing Colby injured is definitely not the scene that Miller Highmore Harrold fans or players want to see, he is walking off under his own power. And initially, when coach carries off your helmet, sometimes that's a real bad sign. But Kolda's going to walk himself off the field. Little help from the training staff, and we'll see if we see Colby Kolda again here tonight. So the safety makes it 22-14. And Mobridge Pollock, of course, with the free kick. They'll kick it from their own 20-yard line. So even with a thunderous boot, you're still going to have pretty decent field position here for Miller Highmore Harrold. And I guess you can tee it up after the onside, but again, it is from their own 20, and here the look up and down the line. Here is the run up and the kick, and a deep kick taken back at the 35-yard line across the 40. 45, Isaac Hunter to midfield, and that'll be about it. So for Miller Highmore Harrold, though, another big opportunity here, as they have a chance. They got the points on the last, technically, they got points on that last drive. They get the ball after halftime. So we'll take a look at the numbers at the half, and Coach Barneau, who's been around football for a whole lot of years, I think would be the first one to tell you that you look at this game on paper, the Rustlers are getting blown out, but in all actuality, they have made the right plays at the right time, and they are hanging around here at home. Here's a complete pass, far side. Isaac Hunter on the catch, and the pickup here, minimal here, 2, maybe 3 yards. Pick up a 3-second and 7. Rustlers trying to come back after they throw the interception, but again, then they do get that safety on the next play. Inside of a minute left in the half, Rustlers down 22-14 now. Brueggemann looking to pass. Right side, launches, and it's way out in front of Caleb Roth and incomplete. Stops the clock at 50 seconds remaining in the first half. And again, a big play on that safety because it changes the situation for Mobridge Pollock to a 2-possession lead to a 6 and a 2 will tie it. Looks like the Rustlers going to take a timeout with 50 seconds to play in the half. 22-14 Mobridge Pollock. Miller on a 3rd and 7 from the Tiger 47 when we come back in 30 seconds. We're back in 30 seconds on KOKK.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Vern's Manufacturing of Wessington into your farming operation.
Back to Miller, and what a lovely night for some football. The wind's not blowing much, not too cool, not too warm. Rustlers trailing 22-14, 50 seconds to play in the first half. They get the ball after the break. They'll go 3rd and 7 from the Tiger 47. Brueggemann back to pass, sacked, and he is. Brueggemann will go down for a loss of about 3. See where they mark him down. I think it's a loss of about 2. Carter Schmeichel over to make the stop, and the Rustlers now on a 4th and 11 will bring on the punt team. And I guess I didn't know they stopped the clock on a forward motion play. Oh, there it goes. So Miller will have it here. They'll Mobridge Pollock will have a little extra time there, I think. And here is the punt, and Hurd is going to get on top of that inside the 20. So Mobridge Pollock will have 21 seconds to work with here before the halftime break. They lead 22-14. They'll go 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. So we'll see if the Tigers are content with the 8-point advantage or if they want to try a couple of heaves towards the end zone. And heaves they would be. They'll go 1st and 10 from their own 20. Halftime coming up. We'll take a look at the scoreboard. Scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care. Get you a Tiger update. They're our game of the night over on Tiger Radio, 1340 AM, 95.3 FM. You are listening to Miller Highmore Harrold football here on 1210 AM, KOKK in Huron, and now they'll set the clock and wind it. And they'll run off 10. And we'll start here with 11 seconds. And we'll go 1st and 10 Mobridge Pollock. So they will go from their own 20. They'll just have a little less time to do it. Jackson Eisenman, we'll see if they, again, if they're content with the lead here, or maybe try a little bit of trickery. We'll see. Eisman under center. He will take the knee and send him to halftime with a score of Mobridge Pollock 22, Miller Highmore Harrold 14. We'll break down all the numbers from the first half of this one. We'll get you ready for the second half. We'll pass along any scores we can find from area teams. And, of course, we'll check our score of the game of the night over on Tiger Radio. Here in Miller, halftime at Parents' Night, Mobridge Pollock 22, Miller Highmore Harrold 14. We're back with a halftime show in 3 minutes. 3 minutes on 1210 KOKK.
At Olympic Chevrolet in Huron, count on an experienced staff. Count on a knowledgeable staff. At Olympic Chevrolet, count on a helpful and friendly staff. So whether you're in the market for a brand new vehicle or a used, dependable vehicle, count on the staff at Olympic Chevrolet to help you get the vehicle that best fits your needs. Olympic Chevrolet. Call them at 605-352-6411. See them at 500 4th Street Northeast in Huron, or go online at olympicgmc.com. Drive off the lot today with the vehicle that you've been dreaming about from Olympic Chevrolet.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dairy Queen's ice cream, of course. Get your favorite cool treats at Dairy Queen of Huron. Get a chocolate-dipped cone, a dilly bar, hot fudge sundae, or their famous DQ blizzards. And for parties, anniversaries, or any occasion, order a DQ cake or a DQ blizzard cake. Dairy Queen of Huron is open every day of the week. Drive up, carry out, or dine in. Dairy Queen of Huron. Hot eats and cool treats.
Hi, I am Tyson Lean. As a college wrestler, I push my body to the limit every day. But after a few injuries, I started to feel like I wasn't performing at my best. That's when I turned to Carr Chiropractic and their team of experts. Through a combination of adjustments, rehab, and natural supplements, I was able to recover faster, reduce my pain, and improve my overall performance on the mat. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to improve your health, I highly recommend giving Carr Chiropractic a try.
This is Matt Sibley with Brian J. Davidson Insurance Agency in Huron. You changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose, because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Brian Davidson will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family, no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call today, because like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rocking the Acres of Wessington provides USDA certified organic, SCI regenerative certified and conventional crop production, balancing biology with fertility. They offer a full line of organic and conventional products for plant nutrition, plant health, and soil biology to help local producers, including amino protein products to stimulate biology and plant hormones, amino-chelated micronutrients, compost extracts derived from local sources, and kelp products. Rocking the Acres is proud to support Huron and area high school sports.
The certified public accountant firm of Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP can take care of your tax and accounting needs. Income tax preparation, computerized bookkeeping, audit and not audit financial statements, estate planning, just among the services offered by Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson. Wishing the best to the Miller Rustlers, Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP CPA firm of Miller.
This is Dakota Sports, committed to excellence in sports broadcasting. It's halftime.
And welcome back to Miller. It is halftime here. Mobridge Pollock leading Miller Highmore Harrold here on Rustler Parents Night. Tigers 22, Rustlers 14. We'll start off halftime here with our scoring summary. The opening quarter, mostly Mobridge Pollock. They scored on their opening drive. With 8:44 to play in the first, it was a 24-yard pass. Their quarterback, Jackson Eisman, to Shane Henderson. The two-point run by Max Saxon was good, and it was 8-0 Mobridge Pollock. Tigers would score again in the first after an onside kick. It was a 2-yard Jackson Eisman run. The two-point pass, Eisman to Kyle Knutson, was good, and it was 16-0. Then Miller would score with 6:01 to play in the first, a 51-yard pass, their first play from scrimmage. Derek Brueggemann to Isaac Hunter, the two-point pass failed, and it was 16-6. One more in the opening quarter for Mobridge Pollock with 1:05 to play in the first, a 3-yard Max Saxon run. The two-point pass failed. It was 22-6 after one quarter, and, well, that would be it for Mobridge Pollock scoring in the opening half. It would be all Miller from there on out. 9:53 to play in the second, a 38-yard passing touchdown. Brueggemann to Kellen Hurd. The two-point pass failed. It was 22-12. Miller gave it back to Mobridge Pollock. The Tigers drove all the way down inside the 5, and the Rustlers able to shut them down and close out that possession with an interception. So they got the ball back without giving up points. And then they ended up getting that safety with 1:40 to play in the second. Colby Kolda makes the tackle after what was actually a completed Jackson Eisman pass to Max Saxon, but then he was tackled just inside the goal line for the safety. So that brings us to our halftime score of Mobridge Pollock 22, Miller Highmore Harrold 14. Back to the studios for 2 more minutes. We'll come back with the halftime numbers. 2 more minutes here. We're at halftime in Miller. Mobridge Pollock 22, Miller Highmore Harrold 14. Back in 2 minutes with more halftime show. 2 minutes on KOKK.
American Family Insurance.
This is Crystal Volkwartson, agent at Volkwartson & Associates, Inc. As your American Family Insurance agent in Huron and Miller, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. Call me today at 605-352-4943, and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The next time you're heading through Miller, make a stop at Pump and Pack. Fill up the tank or just top her off. Pump and Pack features gas, premium gas, and diesel too. Head inside for your favorite snacks and drinks. Pump and Pack is the place for hot stuff pizza and hamburgers, breakfast foods, ice cream too. Miller Pump and Pack is proud to feature Bevo beef products, including ground beef steaks, jerky, and beef sticks. They're open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your locally owned and operated C-store. Pump and Pack, 709 North Broadway in Miller.
Are you looking for an easier way? They have a variety of options available to meet specific needs of your cattle and your operation. All their liquid supplements are made to order when you need them. Liquid supplements are easy to handle and have improved mixability compared to dry feed. Dakota Land Feeds is your only local feed dealer to manufacture liquid supplement right here in South Dakota. Dakota Land Feeds, your local feed source. 6B Seed and Supply of Alpena is your Legend Seeds dealer and wishes good luck to all area teams. As a Legend Seeds dealer, 6B has access to all the leading traits, genetics, and innovative biologicals in the industry. You can guarantee they have your best interest in mind. Call 6B Seeds 605-354-2699 and put their name and Legend Seeds products to work on your option.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
And welcome back to Miller. Matt Watson breaking down some of these first half numbers. We'll take a look, first of all, at the first half numbers for the hometown Miller Highmore Harrold Rustlers. Now, keep in mind, they trail here at the break 22-14, so they are a 2-point conversion and a touchdown away from tying this game. On the ground, Isaac Hunter, 1 carry for 7 yards. Colby Colda, 2 carries for -6, and a fumble they did recover. And Brueggemann's been sacked twice, resulting in 13 yards of loss. 2 penalties, 15 yards against Miller Highmore Harrold. Obviously, they've done their damage through the air. I got Derek Brueggemann, 5 of 11 for 135, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The interception was by Shane Henderson. The touchdowns went to Isaac Hunter and Kellen Hurd. I got Kellen down 2 catches, 59 and a touchdown. Isaac, 2 catches, 54 and a touchdown. And Caleb Roth, a catch for 22. Again, Shane Henderson, that lone interception for Mobridge Pollock. So Brueggemann, 5 of 11, 135, 2 touchdowns and a pick. On the ground, virtually no yards. The Rustlers have, I think, 1 rushing yard and about 130 passing yards. 15 penalty yards, but they've got the scores when they needed them, and they got that big safety to get it back to a 1-score game. So Rustlers about 140 yards or somewhere in that neighborhood of offense here in the first half. Trail here at home 22-14 to Mobridge Pollock. Another 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with the Tiger numbers. 2 minutes to more halftime. Rustlers down 8 at the break. Back in 2 minutes on KOKK.
Graf Electric of Wolsey is proud to offer residential and commercial work in Wolsey and the surrounding area. Call Jay at 605-353-5366 anytime, day or night, to get the lights back on in your home or business. Check out Graf's Electric at grafelectricsd.com. Graf Electric, the home of electrifying customer service. Call Jay at 353-5366. Graf Electric is a proud sponsor of Area Sports.
Action news on the scene. Once again, a craft of some sort has crash landed. I can see movement coming from the craft. Is it the sun? It is. It's confirmed and emerging now exactly what we thought. It is the sun. Ty Clark has just emerged from the craft. He's the son of Kent Clark, like Superman and Boy Wonder. Father and son finally together. Kent Clark Insurance, Wessington, equal opportunity provider, 458-2281 for your crop insurance needs.
Playing the game means bumps, bruises, and breaks happen. Lean on Huron Regional Medical Center Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Orthopedic surgeons Dr. Kevin Hofer and Dr. Todd Anderson, along with the Pro Rehab Physical Therapy teams, are here to get you back in your game. Schedule an appointment at huronregional.org, because when it comes to your health, the right care is right here. Best of luck to our area athletes from Huron Regional Medical Center.
The certified public accountant firm of Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP can take care of your tax and accounting needs. Income tax preparation, computerized bookkeeping, audit and not audit financial statements, estate planning, just among the services offered by Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson. Wishing the best to the Miller Rustlers, Coleman, Biersbach, and Anderson LLP CPA firm of Miller.
Dakota Sports.
Welcome back to Miller. First half numbers for Mobridge Pollock. Jackson Eisman through the air, 7 of 12, 94 yards, a touchdown and interception. The interception by Caleb Roth, the touchdown thrown to Shane Henderson. Henderson has 4 catches for 75 yards and a score. Kels Knutson a catch for 5. Easton Eisman a catch for 14. Max Saxon a catch for -2. And Colby Colda got the tackle on that one, and that ended up being a safety. And then Colda went out injured after that play, and I don't know. We'll see how the second half starts for Colby Colda. Jackson Eisman again, 7 of 12, 94 yards, a touchdown and a pick. On the ground, Easton Eisman, 2 carries, -2 yards. Jackson Eisman, 7 carries, 46 yards and a touchdown. Max Saxon, 18 totes, 86 yards and a score. So around 130 on the ground and a couple of scores for Mobridge Pollock. About another 100 through the air. 30 penalty yards, 3 penalties, 30 yards against the Mobridge Pollock Tigers. So Tigers again dominating time of possession. They have the edge, rushing yards, passing yards, but find themselves up just the 1 score, and Miller Highmore Harrold will get the ball after the break and could get this one back to even real quick. 2.5, 3 minutes here. The warm-up time is back up, so we'll get underway back here in about 2 minutes or so. We'll take a 60-second break. We'll send it back to the studio. So when we come back, we'll take a look at the scoreboard, brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, and we'll be about ready for a second half of football here for Miller. At the half, Mobridge Pollock 22, Miller Highmore Harrold 14. Back in a minute, 1 minute on KOKK.
American Family Insurance.
This is Crystal Volkwartson, agent at Volkwartson & Associates, Inc. As your American Family Insurance agent in Huron and Miller, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. Call me today at 605-352-4943, and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The next time you're heading through Miller, make a stop at Pump and Pack. Fill up the tank or just top her off. Pump and Pack features gas, premium gas, and diesel too. Head inside for your favorite snacks and drinks. Pump and Pack is the place for hot stuff pizza and hamburgers, breakfast foods, ice cream too. Miller Pump and Pack is proud to feature Bevo beef products, including ground beef steaks, jerky, and beef sticks. They're open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your locally owned and operated C-store. Pump and Pack, 709 North Broadway in Miller.
Your headquarters for sports is Dakota Sports on KOKK.
Welcome back to Miller. Miller Highmore Harrold trailing Mobridge Pollock at the break, 22-14. Scoreboard updates brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, 35 4th Street Southeast, downtown Huron. Lori and Kylie do accept walk-ins. If you'd like to walk in or for an appointment, call Lori at 605-883-HAIR. Or call or text Kylie at 605-553-1628. Lori and Kylie offering cuts, colors, waxes, perms, hair treatments, sugaring, eyelash extensions, and shampoo sets. Stop in or give them a call. Make an appointment at the Mirror in downtown Huron. So, Sunshine Bible Academy all over Cologne, 44-12. About 8 minutes to play in the third quarter of that one. Canastota is up 40-0 on Iroquois Lake Preston. Fourth quarter just getting underway there. Howard has beat Dubrook. The final there, 55-0. Wolsey-Wessington leads Castlewood at the half. Wolsey-Wessington 14, Castlewood 8. See if we get any other scores. Britton Heckler leading Redfield 34-0 at the end of the first half. Hitchcock-Tulare must have an open week. Hanson is beating DeSmet 25-8 with 9 minutes to play in the fourth. Let's see if Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central might be out there. Nope, they must have an open week as well. I don't see them on the scorecard here. Tigers down 27-6 with about 7 minutes to play in the, that's the Huron Tigers. And that's a check of your scorecard there. Scores brought to you by the Mirror Family Hair Care, downtown Huron. Big AA score to keep an eye on. Watertown leading Yankton at the half, 20-13. Miller Highmore Harrold back on the field here, ready to receive the kick for the second half as, again, Miller gets it back after the break. And while the game might not be jumping off the charts on paper, the Rustlers are in a pretty good position here, down a touch and a 2. Start off the second half. And again, 5 first half rushing plays. Well, 2 of them weren't even rushing plays. They were sacks. We had Isaac Hunter, the only positive rusher in the first half for Miller Highmore Harrold, 1 carry for 7 yards. They had about 135 through the air, a couple of touchdowns. So again, they struck when they needed them, and they got that big safety to cut it back to 1 score as Shooter Frederick ready to kick it away right to left, and the Miller Highmore Harrold Rustlers ready to start the second half in possession of the football. Here's the run up and the kick. This one angled to the far side, taken on a bounce. Across the 20, 25, 30. Nice run back here across the 35 and the 40 and out to around the 45-yard line. They'll get Kellen Hurt on the return to the 46. Pretty nice return there for Miller Highmore Harrold, and the Rustlers, a lot of things going their way here over the last few football minutes of this one. Second half now just underway. So Miller Highmore Harrold down by a touchdown, scored a 51-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. Well, the first play on offense on their side. Mobridge Pollock had already scored twice at that point. And that's really kind of been the big difference here. Here's a little swing pass near side. Colby Colda back in the matchup. And Colda will pick up about 8 or 9. And boy, he took a pretty solid hit at the end of that play. The pickup is 9, 3rd and 1. Clock is stopped there at 11:44 left in the third quarter, just underway here for Miller. Trips left, lone receiver to the right is Isaac Hunter. Brueggemann from the gun. Colda fakes the handoff. Left side, swings it out to Hurd. Hurd's got a blocker. He's inside the 35 and down to around the 30, and we'll see where they actually mark him down, but they're definitely going to be in territory of the Tigers, and we got a Tiger down. Let's see, though, pick up. There's a flag on the far side of the field. The pickup here was like 17 yards, but it really looks like it's coming back. Now, there's a penalty as well, but I think they're going to bring this one back on some sort of call against Miller. So the Tigers will have the trainer out, and this one will have a slight delay here with 11.5 to play in the third quarter. And boy, we're pulling up on just shy of 9 o'clock. We might be setting records tonight. Second half just underway, and now a Tiger injury. We'll send it back to the studios for a minute. 60 seconds. We're back to Miller in 1 minute on KOKK.
With nearly 130 stores in 12 states, Slumberland has the buying power to bring you the best values from the nation's top furniture brands. Slumberland is America's #1 dealer for Lazy Boy furniture. Slumberland is also the Midwest's largest retailer for Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Slumberland of Huron is completely locally owned and operated. Our staff, including sales and delivery, is made up entirely of your neighbors in Huron. So for the best brands at the best prices, along with truly local service, turn to Slumberland Furniture of Huron.
Dakota Sports is committed to excellence in sports broadcasting.
And welcome back here as they get the injured Tiger off the field, and it was some sort of penalty against Miller. I guess I didn't get all the particulars, but they are on a 2nd and 9. Now from their own 47. Brueggemann back to pass, fakes it far side, swings it to Hunter on the near side. Hunter got a block. He's inside the 45, the 40, 35, slips another tackle, and he's got room. He's inside the 25 and down to the 20. We'll see where they end up marking him down. This ends up being, looks like probably all of 30, but started at the 47, and we'll see where the screen pass here. We'll see where they start this drive out, or start this play out here. Looks like down to about the 17 or so. So we'll put him down for about, what the heck, we'll just say 40. See, that's why they're ballpark numbers. Colby Colda, the carry to the near side. And he is ridden out of bounds by Jackson Eisman after a short gain. We'll see where they mark him. Well, it looks like a pretty good gain, 5, maybe 6. We'll see where they mark him down. It looks like it'll be about a 4 or 5 yard gain and a 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6. So Miller, Highmore, Harrold coming out after the break. Wanting to obviously get a score and marching in that direction. Here's Brueggemann flushed out of the pocket. Flips one towards the end zone. That'll fall incomplete. Hurd already a couple of catches, 59 yards and a touchdown tonight. And the Rustlers take an extra moment here on the play with 10:25 to play here in the third quarter. Rustlers will go on a 3rd and 5 from the Tiger 17-yard line. Brueggemann will go from the gun. Trips left, one right is Hunter. Colda lone man in the backfield. Brueggemann will follow Colda to the far side, swings a pass ahead, intended for Hurd is incomplete. And, boy, somebody got wiped out after the play. Wanted a call, didn't get anything there. But so back-to-back incomplete passes. And now a 4th and 5 for the Rustlers. 10:30 here to play third quarter as Rustlers obviously go for it territory here, down just the touchdown and the 2-point conversion after that safety late in the first half. So Rustlers a 4th and 5 from the Tigers 17. Colda, lone man in the backfield. Hunter will move right to left and will overload that left side. All 4 receivers over there. Brueggemann flushed out to the right, looking for some room to pass the football. He lofts it towards the end zone. Touchdown, Rustlers. Caleb Roth with his first touchdown. So this will come with now 10:21 to play in the third. And the Rustlers on the 17-yard pass get back to within 2, and now a 2-point conversion can tie it. So the 2-point try, Brueggemann from the gun, Colda to his left. They'll overload the near side this time with 3 receivers. And Brueggemann drops the snap. He's got to pick it up, and he'll get sacked on the attempt. And it'll stay a 2-point Tiger lead. 10:21 to play third quarter, 22-20. Tigers by 2. We're back in a minute, 60 seconds on KOKK.
to go in the third quarter play. Tigers 22.
It seems like nothing's built to last these days. Well, here's one that's built to last a long time. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing in Wessington. These creep feeders are built with convenience and durability in mind. Feed flow is easily adjustable with an agitation bar to prevent bridging and snug-fitting lids. Portable creep feeders from Vern's Manufacturing are made locally in Wessington, South Dakota. Put a portable creep feeder from Vern's Manufacturing